Therefore, it is right that we acknowledge our obligation to the past. However, the past does not exhaust our duty and obligation to the future. Our duty and obligation is to the future, not the past. And we learn lessons from the past by prying behind historical events, not by slavishly repeating what happened in the past under new conditions. So he says, if the past has given us some part of the truth, the future also hides many aspects of the truth and invites us to search for them. But often the past is jealous of the future and holds us in a terrible grip, and we have to struggle with it to get free, to force and advance towards the future. So our duty and obligation is to the future. And the past, which gives us these rich gifts, is done and forgotten. And ours is to draw lessons from the past in order to understand the present in a manner which lays down a solid foundation for the future. The late Brawili, many of you would know Brawili, Professor Keurapetsi Khositsile, in one of his poems called The Present is a Dangerous Place to Live, writes past, present, future as one word, because he was a poet. Past, present, future, one long word, is always now. So in our reading, in our analysis, we must always remember that past, present, future is always now. That's what Professor Khositsile taught us. Because if we rely on the rear view mirror to address the present, we will not be able to equal the challenges of the present. If we ignore the past, we will lose the lessons that the past gives us. But our obligation and duty is always to the future. So we must always be forward-looking. And if you are forward-looking, you are always optimistic. Because it's very easy, comrades, to talk ourselves into a depression. And then you need all kinds of stimulants. But if we are clear that, yes, we are here, that's where we are now, we are here, with all its complexities and so on. But our obligation is to the future. And we always remember that every journey begins at the end. If you don't know where you're heading to, of course, the taxi will take you wherever. And the taxi driver will say, hey, sekusela wena wethu manje. And you have to alight. But you don't know where you are. And if you plead with him, he says, no, manje, sekusela wena wethu manje. Phumuphele. Yeah. So it is important, comrades, for us to ensure that in our teaching of history, we understand why we do so. Yes, why we are teaching history. It's not because we want to bask in the glory of the past. It's not because we want to live in the past. Because our duty and obligation is to the future. So that is very, very important. And of course, we want to do a uniform rolling out of this program. Now, one of the points that I thought I should make, comrades, is that when we were in the NUM, at some point, it became clear. So Anglo-American alone dismissed 40,000 members of the NUM, all at once, including the President of the Union. And then it became clear that, and those days there were battles around recognition and legal issues because there was no Progressive Labor Relations Act. There were issues of health and safety because the mining industry is a dangerous industry. And so it was important for the union to try and match the mining houses toe for toe. And in order to do so, at one conference, the proposal was that the membership fee, the subscription fee, must now be 1%. It was a radical proposition. And conference adopted it. But in order to implement, because you see, you can't deduct or cause deductions to be infected on anybody's wages without their express mandate. So in order to give effect to that mandate, the union had to re-sign all its members anew, all of them. Re-sign them anew. So that, to be sure that they accept 1% as their membership fee. And of course, that was a massive exercise. But it bears lessons, I think, to the ANC now. I'll tell you why. Because I don't think, as Comrade Phoebe says, we have 600,000 members. I don't think we know who these members are. I really don't know if we are sure. And so this process must go hand in hand with the process of re-signing all these members anew. It's been done, it can be done. So that when we say we have 600,000 members, we know that indeed we have 600,000 members. Because you see, Omgov explained to us the distinction between members and supporters. We've just listened to a clip of O.R. Tambo there explaining the distinction between criminals, agents, and vigilantes, and those that we think are ANC members. Because you see, a member must have obligations. A member must have duties and tasks. If you remember whose only task is to have a membership card, then you are a supporter. You're a supporter. Because the organization relies on members. When the provincial secretary says, we are going to that branch, he or she must be clear as to who he is referring to. Yeah. Because in this day and age, comrades, we need that clarity. Because our very being is dependent on that clarity. So we must be very clear. I'm suggesting that we try and do that. It's a hard ask, but at the end, I mean, when we did this exercise in the NUM, at the end we ended up with 400,000 members. But we were clear and sure that these are members. You make a call on them, they will answer that call because they are members. So I thought I should share with you these remarks, dear comrades, and that as both Comrade David and Phoebe and Besani have indicated, these modules can be tightened up and improved with, of course, feedback as they are implemented, because we can't have a complete, total package. But some things we do and learn as we do and finesse as we do, because thoughts must lead to action. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Amandla, that was quite profound, and then I think it has once more set the tone as to where we are going. Now we understand how far the political education has gone. Now I will call upon the SG to come and close. I can see he's not yeah.
Amandla, Pata Ramaphosa Pata, ANC Pata, Amandla. Thank you very much, program directors. When we conceptualized this program at Luthuli House, we are there with Comrade Phoebe, Makura, Nomvula, TG, Besani, Mduli, who is shuttling between Parliament and Luthuli House, but we are going to remove him very soon from one of the two. So we conceptualize this, and Mdumanana, of course, we are libaleko Mdumanana, and Mahlengi Bengu. The NEC agreed that all of us and the conference, some of us, we must be full-time. Others came after. But me and Nomvula conference employed us to be full-time at Luthuli House. Now, and the TG, of course. So we are implementing the conference resolution that ANC members must be given political education. And we had Comrade Makura to lead that. And of course, OR Tambo School, we are led by Umkhulu as the chair of the OR Tambo School. So Comrade Makura, like the president said, took up the task and is doing a marvelous job. You know, when you do something, not because you're just complying, organization is deployed, but with passion. And I want to say it in front of him. Uguti, Comrade Makura is focused on the task. He's not half-hearted. He has done a good job with the team, of course, inducting MPs and MPLs throughout the country, Comrade President. Working very hard with the team. I also want to thank Comrade Piti. We are Lupala Comrade Piti. Our Piti. Our one and only Piti. and the team of ITU. We have agreed that comrades should not proceed to present entirely the modules where Bandile started, because we started to have many arguments here, which is part of political education, about the history Bandile was presenting. And I went outside, I met Andile Lungisa. And then wandinikeza umphago ukuthi le content ipresentwa apha ayigqithanga ku-NEC. So funeka izogqitha ku-NEC sifake izinto because it's lacking that content. So that ayilekhi la content uzayifumana iphelele with time. And ihleli phaa ecala comrade iqala comrade Thabo Mbeki. Uthi uBiti uyapresent apha happy le vision ye-ANC angayibekiyo apha. Uthi qaba nje ngaphezulu. Ndaqonda ukuthi andazi ndizamphendula ndithini. Ngoba we told Biti and Makura to cut the program short, because we have launched the program and unveiled it today, implementing the political education program. So, comrades, I want us to give these comrades a good round of applause. The president have been delivering speeches throughout the week. He came from Kazan in Russia, our president. We must always say that, President, we do appreciate the work that you do for the organization. It's a very difficult job. It's not easy. And you lead from the front. And I think yesterday your speech was very good and educational for all of us. And here is what we must understand, what we have been taught about political education. Lenin says, you don't assimilate knowledge and political education to become braggarts. You internalize it. Political education is deeds, is izenzo. It's not being quite an expert in terms of dropping concepts. It's about how you walk, how you speak, how you do your work. They say that when you've got political education, it gives you confidence to lead, to assert yourself, but not just to be a master of concept. Madaji speaks dialectics, Gasvenda, without saying, I'm speaking dialectics. And basically make it basic. So Tina, we like to say dialectics, and the next person doesn't know dialectics. Caleb Mutsabi, when we arrived in Grootfontein Maximum Prison in 1986 in state of emergency, we were excited about dialectics, I must say. Class consciousness, dialectics. And then we talk about Marx. And then one time he said, Marx woli muiteti gaiban. Ka gonne munno o shwele gale. And then Arbanna litsi historia le khotla. And then he banned this thing of Marx and everything. Every day he will give a lecture, political education, on national democratic struggle. Commandant Caleb Mutsabi. When we started, comrades were being taught, but not the basics. So that's where we start. ABC. It can be assumed that you know everything, but these basics teach you how to become a good person, a good comrade, how to become disciplined in the organization. If political education doesn't teach you to be disciplined, then you are not there. You go to meetings, you disrupt them. Political education must be able to assist you independently to know that the organization is selling out or not selling out. You don't have to struggle to understand what is GNU and what does it mean, GNU. and not say that GNU is the DA. Isigezela DA jike emnyango. And as we are kusigezela. But why is Gezela? Is because we did not win power. We did not win outright majority. But it doesn't mean even with the less that we have, we will succumb. We will fight till the end. And you must have faith in our leadership. I sit at Luthuli House, I sleep, I know Matamela will never sell us out in leading the ANC in that GNU. Uyabona kukho omnye umfana apha uthi usayina into yase-Ukraine uyageza uyaphezulu naphansi. Ama-comrade abilile ngaphansi kwekolora. Andibilanga tu. Ngoba ndiphola apha entloko ndiyayazi umongameli akazuyenza laa nto ifunwa ngulaa mfana. Akasoze. Andinaxhala. I know the ANC will succeed. This political education is helping us sizinze. We must have confidence in ourselves. Sikwazi ubona wrong no right no thengisa no ngathengisi. Sikwazi ukuthi sibone inkokheli ezisikhokelayo, not ke gossip, comrades. Yandile ke gossip. No Oliver Tambo lo, as I conclude, that clip, that nice clip. Don't misquote Oliver Tambo. Nihambe nibiza ama-comrade vigilante. Nihambe nibabize uthini Oliver Tambo uthi you must distinguish, and distinguish means ufune kubone izenzo ze-revolutionary and izenzo ze-vigilante. Don't go back to your branches and start calling comrades vigilante. I-vigilante ke le ndiyanazi nizabe nibiza ama-comrade ama-vigilante everywhere. Imbiza abantu ngokuthi zi-criminals and all of that. So masingamoshu Oliver Tambo. Okwesibini Maqabane, uComrade uThabo Mbeki used to say to us as the Youth League, Mbalula, and I was with Malusi, why are you so complicated in organizing the into you organize abantu in the youth niyenza complicated? No, man, you must be simple. You must simplify organizing people. Don't be so complicated. You draft papers and all of that. And one time, we were at June 16 and Malusi was addressing a rally and he spoke for an hour. And then he came after Malusi and he didn't read the speech, the president. And then he said, Lomfo ufake netai apa. Uyani addressa for an hour. Hey, baqhwaba abantu abatsha. Yeah. So that's what he said. And he spoke and they understood him. Political education, comrades, in today's world is going to come to you through social networks and all of that. But over and above that, political education is simple. These basics that Makura and the team have presented here, they must be taught in very simplistic ways. In the areas where we live, how did political education reach everyone in the era of struggle under apartheid? Simple. Comrades were being taught, asifuna ufundiswa. Xa sihleli sibutyo bomlungu masifundisane politiki. Singayeki usibe sixoxa gossip. Ungoyiki ubuza ukuthi, but comrade, I didn't understand the president there today when he said this. What does he mean? That's political education. So this is great work. We are very excited about it as an organization. That's why, Comrade President, we invited everybody. All our regions throughout the country are part of this. In Gauteng, they are here physical, together with the PCs. All our PCs are part of this. And as we launch this work. And the National Executive Committee have adopted the rebuilding program. We're going to work. But if you are not disciplined, we will summon you. And don't allow to be summoned. Deal with ill discipline where it happens. Because you comrades in the provinces are putting a blind eye on discipline. It's discipline in amehlo. Umtu xa kageza ku Facebook, makabizwe. The first step is to make the comrade aware that you are wrong by doing this. The second one, gibela phosi kwakhe. Simfaki discipline ngoba kanayo. Akuthiwa ningaxoxi in public ipolitiki ne-GNU. Xoxani ipolitiki yekani ichuku. And that's what is important. So, comrades, we want to thank Amaqala wethu to be here today. President Mbeki is always with us. Even in the NEC was with us and is still with us here today. And I want to thank you, Zizi, for your support and for putting us to line from time to time. And ungadino, ukusibonisa indlela where we are wrong. We accept it, some of us. Nobungasibiza ngo-12 sizawufika. Asithathi lonto ingathi uyasihohisa. But indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. We don't have problems with that. Yeka ke abahambileyo bathi bahambile abahambanga sikwazi noyicacisa lo. But thina sisheke namaqala wethu apha umkhuluwa, we have given you difficult tasks mkhulu. We have given you to chair our electoral committee and also to guide us in terms of political education. And we thank you for that and your availability. And we thank you all comrades and our veterans. We thank the fellow officials. We thank Comrade Gwede Mantashe wanted to close this meeting. But ndienda amcenga ukuthi makangayivali andiyeke ngoba nami ndiphethe. But ndiyayazi ukuthi I will pay for that. And thank you very much, National Chair. And then our Deputy President spokes, Shipoko Shema Shatile. We work very well, comrades, as the officials. Sinabafazi abayi-3. Oqala nguNomvula Mkonyane, Mama Action. Usisi wami lo ungambona ezenza mncinci nje umdala. Dala great. And then uTG uyasinceda sibona sihleli apha nje imali kaTG le. So uMarupina akekho useChina on assignment. But sonke siphelele esikhokhelwa nguMatamela. Akukho uyasibona mos nathi siqhuba kakuhle. Akukwazenzele pha. Suphethe umbutho, but sizawuphatha with your support. With your support. Ninga sixabanisi ma comrade. Yani sisupporte sonke ngolingana. And then sibulela amaqabani we-NEC wonke akhoyo apha ndibabonile nabangana discipline. Nani njenge branches nibajonge abangekhoyo apha. But abanye abekho because they asked for apology. So andizukwazi ke ubusy roll call apha namhlanje. Ndibulela i-Veterans League uPutsnuki. Ndiyakwazi Putsnuki abantu bayakoyika lo mcimbi we-ethics uphethe. And ungagungqi ungoyiki uyibambe kanjalo nje. And then i-Youth League ndiyayibulela i-Youth League ndibone unobhala upresident angakamboni. And then i-Women's League ikhona apha nayo. Nani nonke maqabani we-regions, we thank you very much. And then umkhonto wesizwe ukhona apha. I-convener ikhona apha yomkhonto wesizwe. Ne-chaplaincy ikhona apha. Noba sivulanga ngomthandazo. Ikhona. Comrade David Makura, thank you very much. Uhlala ufake le tayi ke mhlekazi. E-ofisini ungayifaki only today. Enkosi ndiyabulela. Amandla! Awethu! Thank you very much, comrades.